finally on Stories Around the Campfire, we got one more trailer. Well, kind of a trailer. During the Super Bowl, we got a shit ton of these little short 15-second TV spots from something. I know Colonel's, I can kind of see his half chub like sneaking up at the bottom of the screen. Check this out. Check this out. This is Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Based on the iconic book series. Scary Stories. This film is not yet rated. Based on the iconic book series. Scary Stories. This film is not yet rated. This summer, from Guillermo del Toro. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. This film is not yet rated. This summer, from Guillermo del Toro.
We're next. We're next.
Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. This film is not yet rated.
Like I said, I know Colonel is ready for August 9th because he loves these books. I'm pretty sure you have them all. So I'm just going to let Colonel tell you everything you want to know about Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark and talk about these old TV spots. Go.
Okay, so as we all know, Crank had a hard-on for The Twilight Zone. I had a hard-on for Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. So bear with me here, people. I have quite extensive notes on this to help you out if you don't know anything about the books. One story they're going to discuss is the Big Toe. Pretty much summed up, a boy is digging up in the garden. He finds a toe. For whatever reason, his family eats it. They never really explain it. Those like really short stories. And then the creature comes back at night going, "Where is my toe?" And that is from the first book, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Then we have the Jangly Man. That one I had a hard time trying to figure out, man. I'm going to get back with you guys and figure out which story that came from. That one was pretty hard. Of course, we have the Pale Lady. She's from the short story The Dream. Pretty much this artist is about to move to this one town. She has a nightmare where she sees a dark staircase and she goes up to this room and the carpet looks like it has trap doors and the windows are nailed shut. And then the Pale Lady arrives and tells her this is an evil place. Flee while you can. So in the morning when she wakes up, she changes her mind. She's not going to go to this one town. She goes to this other town, finds a room to rent. And while she's going to get shown the room to rent, the staircase is the same staircase from her dreams. The room's the same room from her dreams. She's like, "Oh, this is coincidence." The door knocks. She thinks it's the landlord. She opens up. Bam! There's the Pale Lady. This is an evil place. Flee while you can. She gets her shit and fucking goes. That is from the third book, I believe. Yes. All right. Another TV spot here. We have the Red Spot. This is one of my favorites from the third book. It's pretty much tells you the story in the little 15 seconds we get. This girl wakes up in the morning. She thinks she has a spider bite on her cheek and eventually grows into a boil. And then she can't, the night before she goes to the doctor, she's taking a bath, kind of soaking in it, and it fucking pops open and all these spiders come running out of her face. That one was pretty badass. That one has stuck with me for a while. And
no wonder you don't shave.
You guys interested in hearing about Harold?
No wonder you don't shave.
Exactly. Hey, I trimmed up a little bit, man. This new haircut's going to get me paid and laid. It hasn't worked yet, but I'm trying. So, you guys curious about Harold the Scarecrow on the movie poster? All right, I thought you would be. So, here's a quick rundown on Harold the Scarecrow. So, two farmers built a scarecrow to protect the vegetables in their garden, and they name him Harold because he's a rival farmer they don't like. So, they talk to the Scarecrow. They bring him in at night and they talk to him. They tell him good things, but if they had a bad day, they cuss at him, they beat him up, they rub food in his face and shit. And eventually the Scarecrow grows from a doll size to a full adult. And he gets up and walks out of the fucking hut one night and just starts walking on the roof, scaring the shit out of them. So they go up in the mountains for their fucking cows. They come down. one guy's like, "Oh shit, I'll go back and get the stools," and the other guy's like, "Oh, that's cool, I'll stay here." And he comes back, and Harold unrolls out his fucking bloody skin. Here's the quote from in the book. It says, "Harold kneeled and stretched out a bloody skin to dry in the sun." That's probably like the actual most horrific story in all 3 books. The one that is truly horror, and it's probably one of the longer ones too. It's like 2.5 pages. Oh man, I can't wait for this fucking movie. I'm like, yay!
You think Harold the Scarecrow will be the end of the movie?
I think so. I think he'll be the last one.
Since he seems to be
from the vibe, I'm from the vibe I'm getting from those little shorts. I think it's kind of like the Goosebumps movie, where all these creatures are going to come out all at once. And that's the only way they can really explain it. That's what I'm thinking.
I see. Yeah, it looks seriously scary. I mean, even though we only got 10-second clips of what we got, basically, there was some gross shit on there and some horrifying imagery. I was very interested in it, and I like the way they marketed it. I mean, one of my areas, I like the way they marketed it with just short little beats, peppered throughout the Super Bowl. You definitely got some attention. So, Molly, talk to us a little bit about these.
All right. Well, I know a couple episodes back we went over the 2019 movies, and this was one of them. And at the time, I think Colonel, he was like, "Oh, hell yeah." And I was like, well, we're about the same age. No, I didn't really read them. And I was like, now that I watched the trailer for it and I saw what the books were, I'm like, oh my God, I read those books. Yes, I know these. And yes, they are very good.
Yeah.
I thought they were very creepy, I can't remember the age, maybe middle school or early grade or late grade school. But yes, very, very good stuff. And now that I realize that's what this movie is, my bad. I was like, yes, this is going to be good. So I'm looking forward to it as well. Good work there, Kurt.
Yeah, and it's from Guillermo del Toro, which he's another hot director that's out in Hollywood right now making some weird ass shit. Like Colonel tried to allude to, I'm interested to see how it all ties together. What's the storyline that combines them? Or is it actually going to be little vignettes for the whole movie? I think there will be some through line that ties everything together. I just don't know how that's going to happen yet. Ziggy, talk to us about this.
Your through line could be as simple as like Creepshow did it, like kid just reading the comic book and, moving along to each one. Maybe. It could go that way. I was a little bit older when these came out, but I do remember thumbing through and looking at the artwork, and the illustrations on it and going, wow, man, these are fucking kids' books? Shit, and Stephen Gammell, is the guy. And it looks to me like they stayed pretty true to the depictions in the movie to what he drew, which I dig. I like this. Yeah. It also makes me realize that this here is an example of untapped literature that could be made into a quality film without having to retread every fucking thing else out there, man. There's still shit out there. So, and here's a perfect example. It looks very well done. Looks scary. It looks entertaining, and I hope I can take my 6-year-old to see it. We'll see. If he's into it, he'll go. But hey, we're there. I'm going. It's definitely going to be something that's on the list. Having seen the trailers now on the Super Bowl and everything, it definitely got my excitement up a lot more to show me, yes, they took it seriously, and I was amazed at how close the actual characters look to the illustrations.
They paid attention to the details, I think, and that's an important part, especially when you're pulling something literary out, and especially if you're pulling like comic book or something that comes along with illustrations. They paid a lot of attention to the detail, and yeah, I think that's all Del Toro, though. I mean, he's that kind of mind. I'm very visionary, and I think this is going to be interesting. I'm very curious about it. So
the tie could be right there at the end, and you just see the book close, and then it's Colonel on the can.
Oh,
that'd be pretty fucking sweet.
That is where damn enchiladas.
Damn enchiladas.
And Zag, I'm kind of in your area. I was a little bit older when these books came out as well, But I also, when I was in high school and even higher up in middle school, I did a reading program for the younger kids in the grade school and lesser grades in the middle school. And I would go in like to the library once every couple weeks or so and read. And a lot of times it was these books. I don't know how the teachers let me get away with doing it, but they never really checked. Oh, what are you going to read? I'm like, oh, scary stories to tell in the dark. Oh, okay. You know, they weren't worried about that. They were just like, you've got to read for 20 minutes to these kids. I'm like, I got this shit. I'm all over it. You know, so, and I do the voices and, you know, I had somebody every now and then, like if I was doing a real weird moment, I'd have somebody by the light switch and just boom, turn the lights off real quick, freak the kids out. It was great.
That's what I remember most is the covers. I think it's the
the simplicity I liked. Yeah. That was really good. Just so basic, you know. And that's why when I saw this, I was like, "Damn, that's what the fuck this movie is." I'm like, "Shit, yes, I know those books. Those were fucking awesome."
Well, they reminded me at that time like the fucked up version of Shel Silverstein, like the dark side of Silverstein. You know, you had the happy-go-lucky where the sidewalk ends, and then you've got Big Toe. You know.
Big Toe.
That's all I like.
Hey, as always, we have the full endorsement on this of the full DCS, and as always, as we say, don't fuck this up.
Don't fuck it up.